I always knew you'd end up alone. That's what my ex-boyfriend Tyler said to me at our 10-year high school reunion. He said it loud enough for the people around us to hear, a smirk playing on his lips as his hand rested possessively on his wife's waist. I stood there in my simple black dress, no ring on my finger, no date by my side. Exactly the picture of what he'd predicted. I smiled. You're probably right. His smirk widened. He'd expected a fight, a defense, tears maybe. My easy agreement threw him off, but only for a second. This is my wife, Brittany, he said, pulling her closer. She was beautiful, blonde, wearing a dress that probably cost more than my monthly rent. She's a pharmaceutical sales rep. We just bought a house in Scottsdale. Congratulations, I said, and I meant it. I didn't want Tyler back. I hadn't wanted him back since he'd broken up with me senior year, telling me I'd never amount to anything, that I was too quiet, too boring, too ordinary to ever be someone worth knowing. I'm Alexandra Hayes. I'm 28. A freelance journalist living in Brooklyn. I'd driven 12 hours back to Phoenix for this reunion, not because I missed high school, but because I'd been working on something for 6 months. Something Tyler had no idea existed. The reunion was at a hotel ballroom. All twinkling lights and nostalgic music. People clustered in groups, trading stories about marriages, careers, kids. I circulated quietly, listening more than talking, the way I always had. The way Tyler had once mocked me for. Around 9 p.m. The organizers set up a projector for a slideshow of memories. Old yearbook photos, prom pictures, that kind of thing. I'd volunteered to help with the media setup months ago, offering my expertise in digital media. They'd been grateful for the help. What they didn't know was that I'd edited the final version myself. The lights dimmed. The slideshow began. Innocent at first. Freshman year photos. Homecoming games. Then, about 5 minutes in, a new slide appeared. Not a photo. A screenshot of text messages. Tyler's messages. From 6 months ago. To a woman who wasn't his wife. The texts were explicit. Plans to meet at a hotel. Complaints about his boring marriage. Promises that he'd leave Brittany eventually. The ballroom went quiet. Someone gasped. Tyler's face, illuminated by the projector glow, went from tan to gray. What the hell, he started. Another slide. Bank statements. A joint account under Tyler's name and someone else's, not Brittany. Monthly deposits. An apartment lease in Tempe, signed by Tyler and a woman named Jessica Morrison. The address where he'd been spending his work trips. Turn it off, Tyler shouted, lunging toward the laptop. But I was closer. I calmly closed the laptop, stopping the slideshow. The damage was done. Brittany stood frozen, her champagne glass tilted, liquid dripping unnoticed onto her expensive dress. Tyler. Her voice was small, confused. Who's Jessica? He turned to her, hands up, the classic pose of a man caught. It's not what it looks like, it's exactly what it looks like, I said quietly. Everyone turned to me. Tyler's eyes narrowed. You did this? I did, I confirmed. 6 months ago, Jessica reached out to me. She's a journalist too. She'd been investigating financial fraud and found some interesting patterns. One of them was you, Tyler, the fake expense reports. The embezzlement from your company. The second life you've been funding with money that isn't yours. I pulled out my phone, opened an email and handed it to Brittany. This is everything. The full investigation. Jessica's been documenting your affair for 8 months. I just compiled it into something your wife and everyone here could understand in 30 seconds. Tyler's facade cracked completely. You bitter, pathetic, careful, I interrupted. There are lawyers in this room. Defamation is actionable. I looked at Brittany, whose hands were shaking as she scrolled through the email. I'm sorry you had to find out this way, but I thought you deserved to know before you wasted more of your life on him. She looked up at me, tears streaming, but her voice was steady. Thank you. Then she turned to Tyler. We're done. She walked out. Tyler started to follow, but 2 of his old football buddies blocked his path. Dude, what the hell? One of them said. You've been stealing from the company? The reunion dissolved into chaos. People pulling Tyler aside to demand answers. Others comforting Brittany in the hallway. The organizers apologizing, confused about how the slideshow had been hacked. I slipped out quietly. The way I'd slipped through most of high school, unnoticed, unremarkable. Exactly how Tyler had always described me, except this time, my quietness wasn't weakness. It was strategy. I drove back to my hotel, ordered room service and checked my email. Jessica Morrison had sent a message. Did it work? I replied, perfectly. His wife knows everything now. And the company's CFO was in that room. I saw him making calls. Jessica and I had met through a journalism forum. She'd been investigating corporate fraud, stumbled onto Tyler's embezzlement scheme, and discovered he was also her boyfriend of 8 months. She'd been devastated, then angry, then methodical. I want to expose him, she told me over video call. But I want his wife to know first. She deserves that. I'd remembered Tyler's parting words to me. You'll never be anyone important enough to matter, and I'd offered to help. The investigation was simple once Jessica had access to his financial records. She'd been meticulous. Every hotel charge, every unexplained expense, every lie he'd told both of them about where he was and what he was doing. I turned it into a story, the kind I usually wrote for magazines. Except this one wasn't for publication. It was for Brittany. And for the 200 people at that reunion who'd watched Tyler parade around all night, bragging about his success, his perfect life, his beautiful wife. The same people who'd watched him humiliate me by predicting my lonely future. The morning after the reunion, I got a call from an unknown number. Alexandra Hayes? A formal voice asked, yes? This is Robert Chen, CFO of Hyperion Systems. Tyler Sanderson worked for us. I saw your presentation last night. Do you have the full documentation? I'd expected this call. I can provide you with contact information for the journalist who compiled it. Everything's verified and sourced. We'll be pursuing criminal charges. If you're willing to testify about how you obtained the information, the journalist obtained it legally. Through her relationship with Mr. Sanderson, I clarified. I merely helped organize it for presentation. But yes, we'll cooperate fully. By the end of the week, Tyler had been fired. Brittany had filed for divorce. Jessica had ended their relationship and was working with prosecutors. And the company was seeking $180,000 in restitution for embezzled funds. Tyler's perfect life, the one he built while telling me I'd never have one, was ashes. He sent me one email. Just one. I hope you're happy. You've destroyed my life over a high school breakup. You're pathetic. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. His life wasn't destroyed by me. It was destroyed by his own choices. I just made sure the right people found out about them. I wrote about it, eventually. Not about Tyler specifically. About the myth of the high school reunion. The way we cured our lives for these moments of comparison. The piece ran in a major magazine. It went viral. I didn't use Tyler's name. I didn't need to. The people who'd been there knew. The people who mattered understood. 3 months after the reunion, I got a message from Brittany. Thank you. I found a good lawyer. I'm getting everything in the divorce. And I'm going back to school. Pre-law. I want to help other women like me. I smiled reading it. You're going to be amazing, I replied. Tyler's prediction about me ending up alone. He was wrong. I have friends. I have a career I love. I have a life that's mine, built on honesty instead of lies. But even if I were alone, I'd rather be alone than be Tyler, whose life imploded because he couldn't stop hurting people. If your ex ever told you you'd never amount to anything, know this, their prediction says more about them than you. Tyler needed me to fail so his mediocrity could feel like success. When I didn't fail, when I actually built something real, he couldn't handle it. So he tried to diminish me one more time. He failed. I didn't just amount to something. I became the person who exposed everything he'd tried to hide. Not out of bitterness, but out of principle. His wife deserved to know. His company deserved to know. And yeah, maybe I deserved to watch his smug face crumble when he realized the quiet, boring girl had been paying attention all along.